Hello everybody! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an animation kind of like this. Whee! He does a little sonic jump. Anyways, this is really simple and really easy to do. This is what a new project looks like. We can start with this guy, but there are other things you can do, and I will show that later in the video. So, you might be very confused, but here's how to make a small, tiny animation similar to the one I made. So this is our stick figure. All of these circles that you see, you can actually use your hands to move. Like these are the knees, these are the feet. The one selected in red is the one you currently have selected. This square one moves the whole body. These lines show just where exactly one joint will move. We're going to want to get this guy in a more natural stance if we want to make an animation like that. Alright, now I've got my guy's stance already. And we're going to grab this square part and move him down onto the floor. Simple as that. Now what we're going to want to do is start animating. It's really as simple as that. So we are going to press this button right up here. Press that and it makes a new frame. Now we're going to get into the movements. So what I'm going to try to get to is doing that kind of sonic ball jump. So we're going to kind of make it look like he's clenching his muscles and getting ready to jump. So we're going to kind of make him like flex his legs, move his arms back a bit more, flex his legs a little more, kind of bend his body down a bit, like he's really about to lean into that jump. And then we're going to kind of curl him into a ball. Who knows? So just every time you want to make a new movement to him, press that button that I showed you earlier. And it'll move him, and it'll make it accessible to move him. So we're going to kind of put him into a ball. And then, here's where this comes in handy. We're going to move him down. We're going to move this down, down. Okay. So we're going to go to the options. After clicking on our stick figure, we're going to go to the options. Stick figure angle. Right here. Plus makes him go left. Minus makes him go right. So I'm going to spin him left. No, minus makes him go left, plus makes him go right. I'm going to spin him sort of to the left. And you see what I did wrong there? I forgot to put the frames, so now we're going to have to do a lot of extra work. And then right here, we're going to kind of make him start uncurling, since he's about to get to the end of his jump. Looks kind of goofy. Here, let's move this. Let's copy this, paste it here, and delete this. So he begins to uncurl and unfurl. And now you don't always have to use that angle, since you can just move his body parts to rotate. But we're going to kind of make him get his footing. Now this is something that a lot of Stickman fight scenes are made on. Not like KJ. That's fully hand animated, like using a drawing app, but... And then we're going to kind of get him back in that natural stance, where his legs are kind of bent, but not too bent. And his body's straight up, and he's got good posture. There we go. Now, yes, that kind of looks a little choppy and weird, but if you want to make a different kind of more frames, kind of move this ball so it doesn't look like he just kind of stands in place for a second. See? Now, there's another option to make it look less choppy. We can do tweening right over here. Now with tweening on, you'll see these little arrows pop up. But I don't use tweening because it can also make it look weird, depending on what you're doing. So I don't often use tweening. So I'm going to turn tweening off. Let's get into movie clips. Now we're going to kind of make a little bit of ground dust appear. Now, you always get set with preset stick figures. We're going to scroll down after pressing on the project, not a stick man, the project, until we see stick figure library tools. You see these arrows here? We press on one of them, we get to movie clip. We're going to click import a movie clip, and then this list pops up. We can do action lines. We can do fire. We can do ground dust, which is what we're going for, right? So animated, I'm going to do animated. We're going to animate it, try to put the center of it kind of where he landed, and then let it spread out. And then we're going to delete it once it restarts. And this is what it looks like now. It gives a lot more flair, and it kind of makes it look different. Now we can also give him a little bit of let's do electricity. How does electricity look? Yeah, let's make it look like he used electricity to go off the thing. So since we already have our animation made, we have to click onto the movie clip. And then right here, we're going to click copy movie clip. And then when we get to the next frame, it's going to switch to frame tools, as you can see here. But we don't want that, so we're going to click back on the project. And then we're going to paste it. And kind of make it look like the electricity is following him. I think that's good. See? Now, I am using Sticknodes Pro, which is like $3. But you don't have to pay for it. But we're going to click on the frame. Now we're going to get into frame tools. So this is where we can actually use sounds if we go down. Now you have a list of sounds, but you can add your own by opening them by Sticknodes after downloading them online. But we're going to get clothes fabric rustle. I'm going to import it. And we're going to use it when he jumps. This is what it sounds like. Now, it might sound a little laggy there, but look. And then we could get like a kind of sonic jump afterwards. Since I do have some sonic noises on here. Sonic. If you're ever wondering what a sound sounds like, you can use that. The little audio looking button. Import. Click on this sound to play this frame. Sonic jump. Yes. So it kind of makes a... And then when he lands on the ground, we're going to do a DBZ sound, I think. So we're going to do ground recover. background hit. That sounds good. We can make his clothes kind of, rustle a bit whenever he moves. But let's use a different rustle. There are multiple different types. So let's use 2 to not give it that same kind of feel. Okay, I made that sound happen really late. So let's remove the sound. Let's make it happen like the moment he moves. You can change the pitch or the pan or whatever, but I don't often do that. Yep. And that's the basics of making an animation. But that's not all. I'm gonna make a next part, a follow-up, as the way I made this animation, as the way I made this video, only allows me to record this one app, so I'm gonna make a follow-up right after. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Well, not really, but that's all I have for this video.